You know, I think in Europe we saw some of the same kind of thing, utilitarian uses of bicycling, well-dressed people riding bikes, not worried about the sweat, people riding 1-speed or 3-speed bikes, not worrying about the fact they don't have the latest 18, 21-speed mountain bike. So somehow America's in this vacuum here we've created between the East and West. I mean, I don't clearly understand the origins of it, but we're also, ironically, kind of the vanguard in terms of what people seem to want, in terms of what people think they want to emulate and want to have. So it's a dangerous position to be in, because the rest of the world could conceivably follow us into this void, if you want to call it that, or spiritual malaise, which, I mean, I think Americans, maybe many will admit at this point, we experience this. That it's not just our economic problem, there's something else here that's causing social problems of all kinds, whether it's drug abuse or crimes of other kinds, alienation, isolation, families breaking apart. I mean, you have spiritual malaise here. I'm not saying that bicycling is the solution to all those problems, but maybe there's something, a key to the fact that Americans, in terms of bicycling, have this different attitude about it from, say, Europeans and Asians, that when we have to be seen as this is just a recreational thing. We don't use it for utilitarian reasons. I mean, what is the insecurity about that? Why are we insecure about just riding a beat-up old bicycle to get to work? Why do we feel we can't sweat? You know, that's not a problem in Asia. It's not a problem in Europe. You just don't ride competitively while you're going to work. You ride for the pleasure of riding on your way to work, and it's a nice thing to do that you look forward to at the beginning and at the end of every work day.
It's almost 28 years old now, and this year I filled the tank first in February, again in April, and for the third time I filled it last week, this was in September. I may or may not fill it again before the end of the year, but I find the car very useful when I really need it, but most of the time it really isn't needed, so it stays in the garage a whole lot more than it's out on the road. Very often bicyclists are considered a fringe group, sort of separate from the general population, but to have a middle-aged housewife on the city council be a bicycle advocate made bicycling more acceptable, I think, to the general population as something that anybody can do, and it's a worthwhile endeavor.
The trick is to be able to wash your clothes on the road. That way you don't have to carry that much. And this is a washing machine. You put a little soap in it and fill it up with water. And then throw one item of clothing in it. And if you're on rough roads, you just throw it in your bag and start riding. And by the end of the day, the water's real dirty, and the clothes are sort of clean. You can't do it indefinitely. After about a week or two, you've got to go and get your laundry done at a laundromat. But it'll keep you going a lot longer than just wearing what you got over and over again, because you get stinky pretty fast. You got to get it real clean. You got to rinse it about 3 or 4 times. And you got to dry it all the way out before you put it back in your bag, or it'll start smelling again. So you tie it on top of your sleeping bag or on whatever you got on the back. You give your soul up to the road. It'll give you anything you need. I had a hat that I wore for about a year that I found on the side of I-5, and I really loved it. And then one day the road took it back. Sooner or later it'll take me.